Welcome to Spectrum News at 10. I am Emedion James, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. Vice President Shettima says SAP's project will drive industrial revolution. Governor Moina kicks off APC membership revalidation in Akwa Ibom, registers at Ibiakpan Obotum Ward 2. Plus, Trump threatens to raise tariff on goods from India over Russian oil purchases. Details of the stories and more in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. First in the news this morning is that Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that implementation of special agro-industrial processing zones will catalyze an industrial revolution in agriculture, fostering innovation and inclusive growth. Speaking through Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari at the groundbreaking in Ibadan, Oyo State, he said the initiative is a step towards positioning Nigeria as a competitive global agricultural player. Shettima noted that SAPS is a key component of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, which seeks to restore national dignity, unlock economic potential, and expand opportunities for Nigerians. He, however, highlighted strategic collaboration between the federal government, state government, and international development partners, including the African Development Bank, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and the Islamic Development Bank, in driving the SAPS initiative. Away from that, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has urged Nigerian youth to rise to the current global demands in pursuing their life's goals. Oluremi enjoined Muslim youth across the country to brace up to the challenges of the rapidly changing world, hinting that technology, values, and ideologies are constantly evolving. Senator Remi said this in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, where she was the special guest at the 4-day National Higher Institutions Convention of Muslim Students. This event was organized by Muslim Student Society of Nigeria in Ilorin, Kwara State. Represented by the Special Assistant to the President, Public Affairs and Strategy in the Office of the First Lady, Abdul Wahab Al-Giwa King, the First Lady said her office remained committed to ensuring promises contained in renewed hope agenda of the present government. She advised the youth to rise as leaders, thinkers, and pilots by rising above the board in their pursuit, especially those that will effect positive changes in society. On electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission (Inec) has cautioned political parties and candidates against engaging in premature electioneering activities ahead of the 2027 general elections, that such actions are in clear violation of the Electoral Act. The Chief Press Secretary to the Inec Chairman, Rotimi Oyekangmi, said the Commission has not yet released official timetable or schedule of activities for the 2027 polls. Oyekangmi's caution came amid growing public concerns over the rising presence of political posters, subtle endorsement, and escalating verbal exchanges among political figures. He cited Section 94 of the Electoral Act 2022, which provides that campaigns by the political parties may only begin 150 days before polling day and must end 24 hours before voting commences. Oyekangmi further referenced Section 95 which mandate that campaigns must be conducted in accordance with Inec regulations. In another development, the Nigerian Defense Academy (NDA) has debunked a list of successful candidates allegedly admitted into the academy, which has been circulating on social media. In a statement, Major Mohammed Maidaiwa, NDA's public relations officer, described the list as fake, stressing that it did not emanate from the institution. Recall that the purported list, which went viral, claimed to contain the names of successful and reserve candidates from the Armed Forces Selection Board 2025. However, NDA has denied any knowledge of such a list and warned the public to beware of fraudsters. In education, the West African Examination Council has released the 2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination results for school candidates. Addressing reporters, WAEC's head of Nigeria's office, Dr. Amos Dangut, noted that the results showed a decline in performance. The HON said there was a 33.8% decrease in performance of those who obtained credit and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics, compared to last year's examination results. 38.32% of the candidates who took part in the examination made credit in 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics. Dangote noted that this year's examination was written from April 24 to June 20. 1,969,338 candidates out of 1,973,365 registered candidates. The HON announced that the results of 192,089 candidates, representing 9.75% of the total number of candidates who sat the examination, were withheld with various. They put the number of candidates in this category at 2.17% recorded last year. Introduced the serialization of objective test question papers in mathematics, curb malpractices. Yeah, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umoino, who was kicked off the membership revalidation and registration exercise of the Akwa Ibom State chapter of the All Progressive Congress (APC), as he validated his membership at Ibiakman Obotum Ward 2 in Insudubium local government area. The governor, who secured the 001 registration number in the party register, called on all party faithful and intending members to register at a different ward. According to the governor, the exercise will go on for a period of 1 month before it will be temporarily closed, stressing that at the end of the validation exercise, the new membership register will be recognized to serve as the authentic working document of the party. Filing questions from Government House correspondents shortly after the registration, the governor expressed satisfaction with the smooth conduct of the exercise and charged members of the party to be patient and orderly throughout the one-month registration process. Government House correspondent Jen Owa reports that the governor therefore enjoined the people to continue to work in unity, peace and love for a united Akwa Ibom, reiterating that united people will always remain progressive people. Let's move to Africa, where South Africa's Trade and Industry Ministry has said that 30% reciprocal tariff imposed by the United States could put tens of thousands of jobs at risk. The Director General of the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, Simfiwe Hamilton, said the ministry based this on the ongoing consultations that they have with all the sectors of the economy, from automotive, agriculture and other sectors that will be impacted. He said at this stage, the impacted sectors are sitting at approximately 30,000 jobs that could be affected if it were to be mismanaged in any manner. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he will substantially raise tariffs on goods from India over its Russian oil purchases, while New Delhi said it will take measures to safeguard its interests and called it targeting by the U.S. president unjustified. Trump said last week Washington was still negotiating with India on trade after announcing the U.S. would impose 25% tariff on goods imported from the country starting last Friday. Reports say India has faced pressures from the West, including the U.S., to distance itself from Moscow after Russia invaded Ukraine in early 2022. New Delhi has resisted that pressure, citing its long-standing ties with Russia and economic needs. On the foreign scene, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has ordered prosecutors to open legal proceedings into allegations that political opponents of Donald Trump may have conspired to falsely accuse him of colliding with Russia in a run-up to the 2016 presidential election. According to report, prosecutors will submit evidence to a grand jury, a group of members of the public who will decide whether formal charges could be filed. It is unclear, however, what those charges might be and who could be charged. Recall that Trump was elected president in 2016 election, beating Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton. Still to come in the news. President Tinubu rewards the Tigers with $100,000, flood and national honors for Afro Basket Trophy. Stay tuned for details of this in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. On our business news, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Inec Lokbotberry, has begged equipment, procurement and construction companies that have departed Nigeria's oil and gas sectors to return. Lokbotberry made the plea at the 2025 National Annual International Conference and Exhibition organized by the Society of Petroleum Engineers, Nigerian Council. According to him, the President Bola Tinubu's government had worked hard to make Nigeria an investment-friendly country. The oil minister said the government recognized the role played by EPC companies in the energy sectors, urging them to return to Nigeria, which he called a dependable and rewarding destination for them. Still in business, the federal government has gazetted 21 new regulations for Nigeria's oil and gas upstream sector in a sweeping move to unlock investment, streamline operations, and align industry practices with both national and global priorities. The Commissioner Chief Executive of the Nigerian Upstream Regulatory Commission, Bega Komolofe, made this known while delivering a goodwill address at the 48th edition of the Society in Lagos. According to Komolofe, the new regulatory frameworks developed under the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 are designed to offer clarity, attract capital, and promote accountability across exploration and production operations. Among the regulations highlighted by the NUPRC boards are the Upstream Petroleum Management Regulations, which promote transparency and accountability through technology and methane emissions regulations. In health, public health experts have outlined strategic interventions to reduce the burden and fertility rate of non-communicable disease in Nigeria, calling for an urgent multi-sectoral approach and policy reforms. They emphasize the importance of prevention, lifestyle and modification, and improve access to primary health care as key tools to tackle the rising threats of conditions such as hypertension, diabetes and cancer, and cardiovascular disease. The experts made the call at a one-day capacity building workshop for journalists. They also raised fresh concerns over the rising threat of NCDs in Nigeria, warning that related deaths could escalate if urgent preventive actions are not taken. Still in health, maternal and reproductive health experts have urged the federal and state government to introduce mandatory reporting of all maternal deaths in Nigeria, including a systematic documentation of their cases as a measure to combat negligence and strengthen accountability in the health sector. The gynecologists, while expressing concerns over the alarming case of maternal death across the country, called for a robust adult mechanism that would trace every pregnancy-related death to its root cause to foretell recurrences. The maternal experts also called on federal and state government to establish an integrated maternal health framework that ensures the availability of trained personnel, emergency ambulance services, and inter-hospital referral links. They argued that the only sustainable solution to maternal mortality is a complete removal of financial barriers to maternal health care. Let's move now to sports, where President Bola Tinubu has honored Nigeria's national women's basketball team, the Tigers, with a cash award of $100,000 for each player, a flat each, and the prestigious office of the Order of the Niger OON National Honor, following the historic victory at the 2025 FIBA Women's AfroBasket Championship. Vice President Kashim Shettima announced the presidential rewards during a special reception held in the honor at the State House Banquet Hall, Abuja. In addition to the players, members of the coaching and technical crew were each awarded $50,000, a three-bedroom flat, and conferred with the OON National Honor. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu and the wife of the Vice President, Hajiya Nana Shettima, as well as the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajamiamila, joined the Vice President to warmly receive the Tigers on behalf of the President. Speaking during the reception ceremony, the Vice President received the champions, describing their victory as a shining example of the nation's talent, resilience, and unity. Still in sport, teenager Victoria Mboko has continued a fairy tale run at the Canadian Open as she breezed past Spain's Jessica Bunzua's Mainaro to reach the semi-finals. The 18-year-old Canadian, who knocked out two-time major winner Coco Gauff in fourth round, impressed again on home soil with a 6-4, 6-2 win in Montreal. She will face 2022 Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina, the ninth seed in her first WTA 1000 level semi-final. On Entertainment News, TV presenter Jay Blades has been charged with 2 counts of rape. Police say Blades, best known for hosting the show Repair Shop, will appear in court next Wednesday over the allegations. A West Mesha police spokesperson said he is due to appear at the Telford Magistrates Court on August 13, 2025. And that's all we have for you at this time. To ensure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 10. I am Emedion James. Enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for watching.
Broadening your horizon is what every living being not only genuinely desires, but heartily pursues and intentionally in the gathering